Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. Hope you're doing well. Episode 422, 4 with two twos. You take the two twos, add them together, you get a 422. There you go. I just did some math for you. If you need me to help you with your taxes, you're not going to be happy with the results, but I'd happy to help you with it anytime. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thank you for pressing play. If this is your first time on the How to Podcast series, welcome to the show. I want to introduce you to myself. My name is Dave. I live in Ontario, Canada, near a very big hill with water that goes over the hill called Niagara Falls. If you haven't heard about it, check out Google Images. You'll be pretty impressed. It's pretty cool, and you should come and see it sometime. And I live really close. It's really interesting. I go there often, but probably not as much as I should, because it's like, oh yeah, we got the falls. I almost forget about them sometimes. But anyways, it's a great place to grow up and live and raise a family and all that great stuff. And we're in Canada, so there's a bonus, right? I wanted to talk today about a way to get more engagement from your audience. We have talked in the past about Buy Me a Coffee, which you can find a link for that at howtopodcast.ca if you are so inclined. And you can top up my coffee cup, which is right here. I love having coffee, and it helps me keep going. And you can always do that at howtopodcast.ca. That's an engagement piece for us to interact, and I really appreciate anyone that goes there and makes a gift to the podcast. Thank you so much. Another engagement thing we've talked about on the show in the past is SpeakPipe. Again, on my website, howtopodcast.ca, you can go there and you'll be able to leave me a voice message. Why is this important? Well, you're listening to my voice right now, and I truly appreciate that, but I would like to hear your voice. Like, you have a voice. I want to hear you, and I'd love to hear about your show, your idea, anything to do with podcasting. You got me. If you're looking for somebody to yak about podcasting ad nauseum, I would love to be that for you. And at howtopodcast.ca, leave me a message. I'll bring your voice onto the podcast if you want and answer a question, promote your show, whatever you got for me. Even if you just leave me a message and say, hey, this is Dave from Ontario, Canada, and I'm the host of Dad Space, a podcast for dads by dads at dadspace.ca. And I love the show, Dave. And I would say back to you, thanks, Dave, for leaving me a message. And yes, all those things are true. I do host the Dad Space podcast. If you're so inclined, you can go there and grab a copy of that as well. There you go. So do that. Leave me a voice message. Tell me about your show, and I'll bring you into the podcast so all of us great podcast listeners can fall in love with you. Win, win. Right. Another way for you to get some engagement from your audience is to put out a call to your audience, and I'm doing this to you now in real time, is to invite your audience, these amazing listeners who have been here for one episode or 500 of the How to Podcast series, to invite your audience to create fan art for your podcast. Now, what can you do with fan art? There's a lot of things you can do with it. You can update the image that you see on your phone or wherever you're listening to this or watching this. You can update the artwork that you see there. You can update your YouTube channel thumbnails. You can do fan art on your social media. I have a merch store for the How to Podcast series. Why not? And you can go there and create fan art shirts and hats and stickers and phone cases and on and on and on. And take your art from your audience and celebrate it and use it in your podcast. So my call to you as a listener of this show is, you see the black background, the white letters, and the yellow microphone. It's what I've had forever here on the podcast. And you're like, Dave, I would like to take a shot at making cover art or some kind of art for you in your podcast. Can I create something and send it to you? And will you use it? Yeah, I would love to have that come from you and then shout you out and tell everybody how awesome you are. Maybe you're a designer and you have a business around helping people with their artwork. Well, then, yeah, I would love to send people to you because you do this for a living or you're really good at it and you do it as a hobby. Whatever the case, I'd love to send people to you. So here's my ask. For the How to Podcast series, if you want to, completely optional, but if you want to be engaged with the show and show off your artistic abilities, I'm putting a call out for engagement from you to create artwork that I can use for the show, for merch, for my YouTube channel, my website. If you got some cool ideas about how we can remake the logo, I would love to feature you on a future episode. So it'll show up there on the artwork will show up on your phone or on the website. Whatever you got for me, I'd love to throw a spotlight on you. Everything that I do in the show is about you. It's about your show. It's about giving you the tools, the expertise, the input from other podcasters as guest co-hosts to come on the show and build a world that supports you. That's why I do the meetups. Twice a week, every Tuesday, Saturday, we get together and we talk podcasting. Going to these expensive podcast conferences where you got to get on a plane and you got to get a hotel and you got to go to restaurants to buy food sounds romantic, yet it's very expensive to do so on a regular basis. So imagine if we could take that $4,000 expense of going to your next conference, wipe that away, and give you a free meetup twice a week where you can meet with other podcasters and learn for free and build community and see other people and then go listen to their show and do podcasting in community. Again, howtopodcast.ca is a link to our meetup group. Come and join us. Like I said, for you, it's free. For me, it's $50 a month. So I'm willing to invest that in you if it brings you value, because then we can do life together and realize that we're not alone in this world of podcasting. So let's go back to this again. I would love to have some artwork from you. So if you can create it for me, I'm using Canva, but however you create artwork for your show, and you want to take a stab at creating artwork for the How to Podcast series, please send it my way. You can send it through email, through the website, whatever you got for me. Send me your image and let's get it into the podcast and show you off. And I can shout you out on the next episode. So please, you can use the Buy Me a Coffee. You can use the SpeakPipe. And you can create artwork for the show. Some simple ways to build engagement for your podcast beyond looking and staring at the stats and going, oh, I wish this show would grow. Then get people to be involved. Put out a call for people, like I'm doing today, to step up and show their admiration for your show by inviting them to support you through a donation site like Buy Me a Coffee, to support you with voice messages where you can actually interact with somebody and hear the voice of your listener. It's a lot of fun. And maybe create artwork for your show. I'm curious, what else are you doing as an engagement piece for your show in addition to these, or as a complement to these, or as a different approach? What are you doing? What's working? What's not working? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're like, Dave, I've got one episode and 3 listens, great. Then start now. You've got the perfect size audience to start. It's probably easier to track down 3 people who listened to your last episode than it is to track down 1,000 people. That's going to be harder. That's a lot of people. So build now. Start building up your audience, build up your interactions. Somehow call them out and say, hey, to the listener in Boston, thank you. I see you listening to the show. I just want to say thanks for listening and I'd love to talk to you. And now you're going to get a message from the person from Boston. They're going to be delighted. They're like, wow, they can see that I'm listening to the show. That's awesome. And start building it now. Don't wait. Don't wait. When your show is new and you got a couple episodes and a few listens, it is the perfect time. Celebrate the small. Don't feel like you're not winning because you don't have these big numbers that you see in Facebook groups. A lot of those people are not telling the truth. A lot of them are just making up things pulling numbers out of the air or other places that you can't see. They're just making these things up. And a lot of people feel bad. I'm telling you that with a small engaged audience who interact with you, respond to your requests, give you sponsorship money through Buy Me a Coffee, leave you SpeakPipe messages, send you artwork for your show. As you build up an audience that's highly engaged, if you have a plan to make money with your show in the future, you have the perfect audience for a sponsor to come to you and say, I love what you do, and I'd love to get in front of your audience. Because you've built up this library and this history of interactions with your audience. If you had 100 people who listen to your show and you hear from most of them on a regular basis, you have the perfect audience for a sponsor. The perfect, especially if you have a product or service that helps that audience to do better, or there's something that they would love to be get based on your content. It is the perfect audience to put something in front of if you want to do that in the future. So get your audience engaged. Get them responding in DMs and voice messages and emails and supporting your show through like a Buy Me a Coffee. All of these things work together to increase the engagement of your show, which gives you options. And if you don't have any intent on making money with your show, having an engaged audience is super encouraging. There's going to be times where you're not going to want to record a podcast. There's going to be times when you're too busy. Like for me, I should be sleeping. It's like 4:45 in the evening. I got to work tonight. I should be in bed right now because I got to work all night. While you're sleeping, I'm working. And I'm like, I'm going to create this episode because I want to get it out there and I want to get it there for you. So that's my challenge for you this week. Create engagement. If you don't have Buy Me a Coffee on your website or in your show notes and you've never set it up, go to buymeacoffee.com, set up a free account, and get started. If you set up a Buy Me a Coffee page for the first time, tell me. I'm telling you, tell me. Send me a message. Send me a link because I want to support you as a new podcaster or somebody who's new to Buy Me a Coffee. I would love to be your first donation. People are very generous and kind who listen to this show. I love to redistribute the amazing donations and support that come into this show by giving it back out to others. So set up your Buy Me a Coffee and tell me. Then also, if you haven't set up a SpeakPipe, set it up and send me a link to your SpeakPipe. I want to be your first voice message. I want you to hear it. Okay? And then go to your audience as well and say, listen, I'm looking for an update on my artwork. I want fan favorite artwork. Whatever you want to do is great. Keep the name of the show somewhere on the artwork, but send me your suggestions and I'm going to use them in a future episode. Your audience is going to love, A, the shout out that, hey, I did something for my favorite podcast and they used it. And B, you can just send people to these great people. You might find some new friends, some new collaborators, maybe a guest for your show, and they're right there listening right now. Tap into the expertise of your audience. Your audience are super smart, and I'm kind of talking to you here at the same time. Your audience is super smart, talented, gifted people who listen to your show. They come with a wide range of connections, abilities, talent, skills, influence. These people that listen to your show are super amazing, and I know they're smart because they listen to your show. They could be listening to somebody else's show and getting really bad advice. But no, they've chosen your show for a reason, and they're super smart. So leverage your smart audience and acknowledge them and reward them for listening and being part of your community. And I'm like I said to you, listen to this show. You may have gone somewhere else to hear about podcasting, but you're here, and you're still here near the end of the episode. So thank you. And if I can serve you, please let me know. I love creating these episodes. The How to Podcast series will always be free. It'll always be ad-free. I'm not the person to take money from people and try to force things for you to buy or purchase or support or whatever. I will always give tools for you. I will always come with an unbiased view to support you in your journey as a podcaster. And these episodes are always free. And if you're like, Dave, thank you for all these free episodes, but is there a chance to work with you? Yeah. Reach out to me through my howtopodcast.ca. Let's have a conversation. Love to help you. I am looking to work with more clients. I have a few right now that I'm working with, and we love having our conversations and our meetups and our time together. But if you're interested and you're looking for some help and you have some money that you would like to put towards that and learn more beyond what you're hearing here for free, anytime, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you over at howtopodcast.ca. Fan artwork. You're listening. You're great at doing art. Send in some fan artwork for the How to Podcast series. I'd love to see my creative listeners in action and shout you out and send people your way. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Keep podcasting. Keep sharing your story and keep being you. There's not enough of you in the world. We need more of you. We need your voice. And your audience loves you. So keep podcasting. Take care. Hey, thanks for being here. Thank you for listening to the end of the podcast. You're here with me. I'm so grateful. I want to put something in front of you. For the person that's listened this far, you're my new best friend. So what I'm trying to do every month is I have a goal, and you can help me with this goal. Very simple. What I'm trying to do is have 5 conversations this month with listeners of the How to Podcast series. You don't have to have a podcast to respond. This can be the first time ever that we're going to have a conversation, but I'm looking to talk to 5 people. Now, you're still here, so you're one of the people that I would love to talk to next. So on my howtopodcast.ca website is a calendar, and I'd love to have you respond on howtopodcast.ca. Just click the calendar link, set up time in my calendar, and in the comments section for the meeting, just put something like listener. That's it. If you have a show, put it in the comments too so I can go listen. But if you don't, I just want to talk to 5 listeners every month from now to the end of the month. So if you're listening to me right now, you're the person I want to talk to. And through howtopodcast.ca, you and I can get together, chat about the show, chat about your journey as a podcaster. Where are you at? What do you need the show to become for you? What's missing? Your feedback. I just want to meet you. And as podcasters, I would encourage you to do something similar to this in your podcast so that you can meet and interact with your audience. So, howtopodcast.ca, I'm looking to talk to 5 people every month, and I would love for you to be one of them. Reach out. It's free. I'm not selling you anything. I just want to talk to you at howtopodcast.ca. Let's get in the calendar and chat. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm David Beckmeyer out here in California, USA. I'm the host of Outrage Overload, a science podcast where we explore the roots of outrage and offer strategies to stay calm in a polarized world. Regarding the weekly meetups, I've been attending these for some time now. And, I've made an observation and it's, taken time to see this and see how this works. But, in informing this observation, I do want to say that, I have quite a bit of experience with, building teams, running big teams. I've had hundreds of people working for me and built companies, all this stuff. So I only say that to say that maybe this observation carries some weight. But one observation I've found here is Dave is kind of masterful at how he helps us. And he also that carries then forward to a lot of the rest of us pick up on that and some sort of follow through with some of that same practice. But, he's never particularly direct. I mean, I guess if somebody had some certain kinds of situations, he might be. But for the most part, what he does is learn about what folks are doing. And he really puts time into, checking out their shows and what work they're doing and learning about those people. And then, us, the group, and the folks in the group. And then, what he'll do is he'll incorporate some of the things that maybe he sees something in a show that, oh, this person is doing that. And maybe that's not the best idea. And instead of, jumping down that person's throat or really telling them that they're making this big mistake, he'll incorporate into one of his episodes, maybe later, something about that aspect of things. And then we learn along the way that, yeah, that's an interesting thing that I'm probably doing that maybe I shouldn't be doing anymore. And I think he provides help like that in a very subtle way, and it moves everyone forward. And Dave, you may not be able to use this part, but I'll clean up this joke. But it very much reminds me of the old joke about the two bulls are sitting at atop of a hill, and they're looking down, and there's a bunch of cows at the bottom of the hill, and the young bull says, "Hey, let's run down there and date all those cows." And the older one says, "Why don't we walk down there and date them all?" Thanks, Dave.